Hello, my cookies, and welcome. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I have a grilled pork tenderloin, and I'm going to be doing a grilled sweet potato salad. We love potato salad in the summer. This has a little twist on it. It's more vinegar-based, so it's kind of like German potato salad, and we're going to grill up the veg. I'm going to be using my Breeo Firepit here. This dish is a winner. Now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients. I have 2 1-pound pork tenderloins. I have cut them in half. I put them in a bag. This is how I'm going to kind of flatten them out. I also have a little bit of chipotle in adobo, so you can add this. This is optional. It'll bring some nice smoky heat to the dish. For the salad, I'm going to be using leeks. Scallions are fine. With these leeks, I've just halved them down the center. I've left the root end in, and then I washed them kind of going in between here to get all that dirt out. You're also going to need cilantro, garlic, fish sauce, feta. I have about 4 sweet potatoes. If they're small, do 5 or 6. If they're larger, do 3. It's going to be about 2.5 pounds. 1 red onion, relatively small as you can get. Whole bunch of limes, coriander powder, cumin powder, olive oil, got our salt. And finally, last but not least, you will need some honey. Now that we have gathered our ingredients and we know what we're doing, let's get started. First things first, we need to make a marinade for this pork. I'm going to be doing a bunch of lime zest, 4 teaspoons, give or take. Get your zesty out. Make sure you got clean limes. Let's get some lime juice. Because I already put my lime zest in, I'm just going to fill this up to about 1/3 cup. Let's do 4 cloves of garlic. Don't be afraid of flavor. These cloves are really tiny, so I'm going to do like 10. You want about 4 teaspoons minced garlic. How about that? For our honey, I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon in. This will definitely help with browning. Fish sauce, this I will measure. Scant tablespoon is fine. It's going to give a little bit of umami, a little bit of saltiness. Speaking of salt, let's put in about 1 teaspoon kosher salt here. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in here. Put about 1/3 cup of oil in. This is going to act as our dressing as well. I have my 4 pieces of tenderloin here, and I'm just going to bash it just to kind of flatten them out. Uniform thickness. I think we're looking good. Nice and flat. I'm just going to crack this open a little bit and get some of this marinade in there. I'll probably pour anywhere between 1/2 and 2/3. Seal it back up. Redistribute. You can leave the pork out at room temp. It's because we're going to cook it, 30 minutes or so. The sweet potatoes, let's go ahead, square these off, peel them, and I'm going to cut them into rounds, maybe between 1/2, 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to peel these because I don't like sweet potato skin, especially when they're grilled or cooked. I think they're chewy and unpleasant. I'm going to go for 3/4 of an inch. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil, a couple tablespoons, just to help keep them from oxidizing. All right, let me toss this around. Throwing a couple more logs on the fire here just to make sure that we maintain our temperature. For this onion, just going to cut some rings here. So let's peel off this outer layer. Try and keep them together here. About 1/2 inch. Let's start grilling. Here we go. I've already cleaned this. Let me oil it. And I have my grill rack raised. I don't want it too close. I don't want these super charred before they are completely cooked through. If I'm not getting the browning that I want and they're cooking through, I will lower it. I am going to drop this a teeny bit. I think it's a little too high. All right, we're going to put our onions on and our leek. Just going to put a little oil in this bowl. We're going to reuse this bowl. Slap it on. Same with the leeks here. Let's make our vinaigrette for our sweet potato salad. All right, I am going to put a little bit of this chipotle in adobo, maybe about 2 teaspoons. I'm not going to add any of the chili. If you want to, absolutely do it. Do a couple tablespoons of lime juice. Do a little bit of salt here, maybe about 1/2 teaspoon. Remember, I did not season these up. They're going to go in here. I'm going to season up like this. I'm going to add a little bit of honey here, about 2 teaspoons. Cumin, let's do 3/4 of a teaspoon. And with our coriander, same amount, 3/4 of a teaspoon. All right, let's go ahead and whisk all that up. Get a little bit of some browning there on these ones in the middle. Gone ahead and flipped our sweet potatoes, leeks, and onion. The ones in the center got a little bit darker, so I moved those to the outside. The ones on the outside didn't get as much color, so I moved those to the inside. We're going to give them a couple more minutes, probably 10 minutes total, depending on how far away from the fire you have it and how hot it is. All right, let's get some of this stuff off. Chop these up, get them in with our dressing. I'm going to put a little bit of oil, about a tablespoon. All right, while these are hot, because I need them to steam through a little bit. Leeks, slice it relatively thin here. Gonna cut off the bottom, the part that I couldn't clean, and that goes in the trash. Let's toss it around with the dressing, get everything mixed up here. Now I'm just going to cover it with foil, let it steam through, and that's going to finish cooking. We'll give it a taste for salt and pepper and other flavorings in a little bit. I dropped my grill grate pretty close. It's probably about 6 inches above the edge. We're going to sear these up. Remember, I pounded these pork tenderloin halves to about 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch thick. I want to make sure they're cooked through before I pull them off. So if I get my good browning and they're still not up to temp, I'm going to raise it up and I'm just going to let them finish cooking gently. Let's get this pork on the grill here. Let's hose this side down. All right, I'm going to raise it up a little bit and I'm going to flip them. I think it's a little close. We're getting really dark. Let's go ahead and spray this other side. I'm going to flip them one more time. For pork, you pretty much want to bring it up to 135, 140 degrees. You want the carryover cooking to take it to 145. All right, we're at 120, 127. So these two will take a couple minutes here. Now I'm going to put my potato salad just here. I just want it to heat through. How are we looking on this one? There we go. All right, we just pulled the pork off. I'm going to let it rest, cover it with a little bit of foil. I have put my potato salad on. It didn't steam through entirely, so I've just put it over kind of like the dying embers here. I have it nice and covered. I'm just going to toss it around, make sure that the potatoes are nice and fully tender. You know, you don't want to mush, and these were a little bit too toothsome, so I just wanted somewhere in between. I didn't quite hit that mark, so I'm just going to cook these a little bit more. Give that a few more minutes while the pork rests. I'm gonna go ahead and take salad off and just let it rest. Let's chop up a little bit of cilantro here. While waiting on that pork, we got our hot steamed salad here. We're just gonna toss it. I think it needs a little bit more of everything. So remember our pork marinade? I'm just gonna take maybe a tablespoon of it, dump it in. It's gonna add a little bit of garlic. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the chipotle and adobo. Season up with at least a half teaspoon of salt here. Now comes the cilantro. Maybe let it cool a little bit, but I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup chopped cilantro. And let's go ahead and give this a taste. I will add a teeny bit more salt here, and I want a little bit more lime. Half a lime, I should say. All right, let's get this pork. Here we go. Here's the pork. We got our lime. We got our garlic. We got our cilantro. That pork is juicy. Love the lime. Just comes through. Kind of cuts through a little bit of that fattiness. Fish sauce is there. Doesn't taste like fish sauce. I can just sense it. It's like an umami little boom. Let's get this salad here. Some nice leek, cilantro, red onion. Here comes the heat. That adobo right there. Well, that chipotle builds. I put too much in. That's okay. It's really good. These two pair so well together. The lime, this chipotle, the cilantro. Yeah, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch pieces. Really important. Any bigger, they'll be a little bit more toothsome. On a hot summer day, I don't know, eating a piece of potato that's saturated in mayonnaise isn't as appealing as this bright cilantro, spicy potato salad I got going on here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. That was cilantro lime pork with a grilled summer sweet potato salad. If you like what you saw, don't forget to follow me on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you like any of the stuff I use, make sure to check the links below because I have a whole bunch of affiliate links for things that I enjoy and I use. The best way to support this channel, subscribe to me on YouTube YouTube. It's absolutely free. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.